is a place.
No. Home is a feeling.
Home is my motherland.
It's more where you feel alive and inspired.
Well, I think we're talking about the same thing, aren't we?
Home is where our story begins. What's your story?
Homesick at Home every Friday from 9 to 10 p.m.
on Radio Van 103.1 with Ina MK
and Rina D.
Shot City, I'm coming home again.
When lonely feelings chill the meadows of your mind, just think if winter comes, can spring be far behind? Beneath the deepest snows, the secret of a rose is merely that it knows you must believe in spring. Just as a tree is sure its leaves will reappear, it knows its emptiness is just the time of year. The frozen mountain dreams of April's melting streams, how crystal clear it seems, you must believe in spring. You must believe in love and trust it's on its way. Just as a sleeping rose awaits the kiss of May, so in a world of snow, of things that come and go, where what you think you know you can't be certain of, you must believe in spring and love. You must believe in love and trust it's on its way. Just as a sleeping rose awaits the kiss of May, so in a world of snow, of things that come and go, where what you think you know you can't be certain of, you must believe in spring and love.
Good evening, good evening. This is the romantic way we start our show tonight. You Must Believe in Spring, performed by our guest, Mike Mossessian. Good evening, Mike.
Good evening, everyone.
Welcome to Homesick at Home, our English-speaking show, which is on air every Friday from 9 to 10 p.m. Dear listeners of Radio Van, first I would like to congratulate everyone, dear independent citizens of Armenia. Happy Independence Day. This is the 27th anniversary, and I hope the best is yet to come for all of us. So,
Happy Independence Day, Ina, Mike, and Armenia.
Happy Independence Day, Arena. For those of you who don't have the opportunity to tune in to the frequency, you can go ahead and watch and listen us live on www.radiovan.fm, which is our website, and also our official Facebook page. So, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. It's a pleasure to be here with you.
How was the atmosphere in the city?
Actually wonderful. I was walking down the street towards Radio Van and it's packed. So many people on the streets. Everyone's having fun. Live concerts. It's really very nice. And
didn't you perform?
No,
anywhere?
I haven't performed yet.
Okay. But you will share about your plans later. So let's start. Where were you born, Mike?
I was born in Vienna, in Austria.
Mm-hmm.
And I was basically raised there all the time. So I spent my childhood, basically all my life, I spent in Austria and Vienna. And I was living.
Was it?
Well, actually, it's good. I mean, it's hard to talk about the country one was born and raised in because it's a few things you simply perceive as normal. They're not, it's not that you don't see them in a special way, although they are. But it's a great country, I must say. It's a great city. It's full of music, full of very nice things to do, to experience. And as I many times mentioned, it's a social country, social city. So there are really many things one can do, one can learn, one can experience. So I love it.
A real museum.
Yeah, it's a beautiful city.
Yeah.
It's a really beautiful city.
I remember the buildings, even like average buildings that people live in are so cool.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Yeah, especially in
historically and culturally rich.
Yeah, totally.
So I guess the first time that you could actually compare the place you were born in, was when you left. So when was the first trip you took out of Vienna?
Well, the first time that's a good question. I just remember that the first time when I came to Yerevan, I was about 14 years old. And it was exactly when the revolution was happening. So my first impression of Armenia was quite tough, I must say. We were staying at it was called Erebuni Hotel. I don't know if it still exists or
it does.
It doesn't. Yeah.
It does.
And it was really tough. I mean, people were kind of shooting at each other,
Kind of.
Yeah, it was really. Yeah, it was I would say an intense experience. Let me put it this way. But I remember it very well because it was the first time when I wanted to see what my homeland is about, how it is, how people are, and especially the feeling that everyone was speaking in Armenian was a very nice experience because
and you also speak really good Armenian.
Well, I try to.
So who taught you?
Thank you.
Who taught you? Your parents?
My parents, of course, but then we also had it's called a Saturday school, once a week, which you attend for, let's say, 250 years. So it never ends in a way. You attend it for, I don't know.
Do you still go there?
No, I stopped going there.
How old are you?
Let's start from that.
My age.
250 years.
The thing is, when I was 33, I decided to stop counting.
Okay.
Arena John, let me look in the bio.
Well, from that day on, 12 years have passed. So I'm 45 now.
I'll tell you later.
You just said it.
Yeah.
So other than the political chaos that was going on here when you came, when you were 14, what other impressions did you have?
We will speak about that after the advertisement break.
She's gonna do
Let's
it again.
leave the political chaos.
Okay.
This is Homesick at Home. We're here till 10 o'clock. Stay tuned. We have a very romantic, creative, and talented guest.
Ռեն, խի ուշացար, պրիտոմ չզանգեցիր, պրոպկա էր։
Հայերեն խոսիր հասկնամ։
Ռեն, ինչու ուշացար, ընդ որում չզանգահարեցիր, խցանում էր։
Ինչեր։
Never mind.
Չէ, ասե ինչեր։
This isn't gonna work. Typical repeat.
Oh, here she goes again.
And I'll be doing it every Friday with you on Radio Van. Homesick at Home.
Homesick at Home. We're here in our studio with our guest singer Mike Mossessian, and so let's continue with the story of your first visit during the revolution.
Exactly.
And what comes next?
So what comes next? Oh, well, you were asking me about...
How long did you stay here? Yeah.
We stayed here for about 2 weeks, if I
Okay.
remember well. Yeah, for about 2 weeks. I'm going to be honest about the impressions that I had because
Please do.
I got sick. So, I was spending, let's say, 4 or 5 days here.
It was an amazing trip.
It was an
I see.
it was an amazing trip for the first time, seeing this revolution going on and then being sick with 40 degrees of fever. And it was, it was quite tough. But overall, I must say, once I got better, of course, I started experiencing the vibe because we went also to other places like Ejmiadzin and to churches and everything. And it was the first time when I saw these nice scenarios that Armenia has, and not only Yerevan, especially what's out there, all the nice places. So I was really impressed, I must say, really impressed.
Cool. So we hope that these good impressions will grow and grow and grow.
And they did. And they
I'm
did.
sure because you kept coming back.
Exactly.
Yes, and what were you expecting before you came? I mean, before the first visit?
I didn't have any idea what to expect.
He was
I didn't have
expecting to see
any
Noah on the mountain. Alright. Saying, welcome, Mike.
Well, it's not on this side, is it?
It's on the, exactly.
Not from far from there.
So
can happen.
the thing is that, for example, I didn't have this thing going on that many people had with Sis and Masis and Ararat. I'm gonna see the. Well, it wasn't connected really to the Ararat thing. It was more connected to the city, to Yerevan, to Armenia, and especially to the people, because I really wanted to see how my people are. How is it, to speak with them, to live with them, to just have a conversation with them. How is it going to be? And I also knew that my Armenian back then wasn't as good as it is now. So I knew that there would be some. I could talk, of course, normally, but I had this Parskahaya accent going on,
So there was a language barrier as well.
Yeah, maybe not a barrier, but you yourself don't feel comfortable when you know that your Armenian is a little bit, let's say, modified. Okay, so it's a strange feeling in a way, but yeah.
Since you spoke about people, can you name 5 things describing Armenian people?
Well, the first time when I came, the first thing I noticed it right away was that people are very welcoming, very nice. They invited us almost everywhere. It was like, you don't know that guy, but he invites you. You don't know that family, but they invite you. And they treat you as if you were part of the family, in a way.
As if for the last time.
Yeah, or something like that, yeah.
A lot of people say
Yeah.
this. I mean, this is kind of like a first impression that they have of Armenians. Why do you think it's like that, in your opinion? I mean, why is there this hospitality, this warmth here?
I'm not so sure if I can say why, but I can at least do some comparisons. Because always when I was in countries, in let's say, I don't want to say poor countries, but you'll get the message. Like poorer countries, people are closer to each other. Wherever there's a lot of money, people kind of tend to isolate more. My house, my dog, my car, my I don't know what, and sharing becomes something special. But in the case of Armenia, in the case of, I'm going to name a few, in the case of Cuba, in the case of Costa Rica, Latin America.
They say in India is also like that.
Yeah, I haven't been to India, unfortunately, yet, but I can imagine. So people are much closer to each other. They enjoy spending time with each other in a way. Even in Spain is part of Europe, but still, I spent 1 year there, but people really live on the streets somehow, They meet up in the streets, they drink something, they spend time together, they enjoy simply being together. Whereas in the Western European countries, I wouldn't say that they don't enjoy each other, but it's more like, this is mine, and I'm going to stay here for a while, and only when I feel like I want to meet someone, that I'm going to go somewhere. But it's not like inviting, your friends to your place, or you can't just go and knock the door and say, hello, here I am. Let's,
Is that how it is in
So
Vienna?
poverty connecting people.
Yeah, in a way, it really is. I mean,
It does, yeah.
the most intense experience I ever had was Cuba, because there the people are really poor. But I mean, every door was open. Every door was open. People were just going inside, coming out of neighbors' places, asking for salt, asking for I don't know what. It was totally different.
Yeah, here it was also so average to go knock on the door
Right?
of the
I
neighbor
can
and say,
imagine.
do you
Can I have
have
some-
eggs or salt or something? I'm
Yeah,
missing
yeah.
something from my recipe. And everybody was connected with each other
Yeah.
in the building. Now it's a bit different, unfortunately, but it's still there.
What about Vienna or the Armenians in Vienna?
Well, I would say these are two different things. Viennese or Vienna itself, I would say you could, for example, go and knock the door of your neighbor and ask for salt. It wouldn't be. I mean, it would be a little bit strange because everyone has salt, so there's not
Yeah.
not the necessity to ask for salt. But if something happens, you could simply knock the door or ask for something. But we don't. I wouldn't say we interconnect, with each other. We see each other on the stairway or wherever and say hello, but that's it. We don't go to each other's place, or it's not that way. With the Armenians in Austria, it's quite interesting because the more time you spend in Austria, you kind of become like Austrians, in a way. You enjoy the silence. You don't want to hear too many noises around and this, and you get used to that life.
You don't
kind
need
of.
salt anymore.
You don't need salt, exactly.
So how do Armenians cope there? We are very loud,
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So they're having a lot of troubles in the beginning, I would say, because it's also how to connect with other people. You have to know how to connect with Austrians. It's not the same way as in Armenia. And if you don't know how to connect, then you're gonna feel a little bit isolated. You're gonna maybe feel a little bit alone. I was having this conversation with friends who came from Armenia, from Iran, from Syria even, and it is different. You just have to find the way, the
of
key
course.
to
Each
the culture.
nation has their own thing.
Yeah.
Mike, let's speak a little bit about music and music in your life. So we read your bio, and from engineering and other fields to music. How was this transition happening?
Actually, it was a smooth transition, I would say, because when I started first the engineering school for information technology, I was like 14, 15 or 15 years old. You can decide in Austria to change to that school, so not to go on doing the normal school, but change to that engineer school. So you get a degree and you learn much more in a way. And as I was a kid back then, I was interested in computers and everything, and all this, because that was the time when the first computers came up, the first personal computers, and everyone was like, "Wow, what is this? Look at this game, and you can do this, you can do that." So, yeah, I somehow decided to study information technology, which was quite tough for 5 years, and then I went to international business administration.
And then smartphones killed the computers.
Smartphones killed the computers, exactly.
So you knew where you were going.
I knew where I was going. I knew where I was going. But the thing is that I loved music since I was a kid. My first piano lessons I had with 13 years, something, 13, 14, I don't remember anymore. But I loved music. And I was always into jazz. People were saying to me, like, what are you listening to? I mean, you're like 15, 16, and what kind of music are you listening to? Frank Sinatra, what's that? I mean, of course, Frank Sinatra is now like entertainment jazz. It's a different kind of thing. But I was listening to those songs. I was kind of impressed by that era, by that music. So I started playing piano. And as usual, they sent you to classical, lessons. And I was not really so much into classical music. So I was asking my teacher all the time, isn't there any, jazzy thing that you could teach me so I could play? And she thought about it, and she came up with Henry Mancini's Pink Panther theme, that I loved, actually. It was the first thing I started playing on the piano. And yeah, so I had my piano lessons, and then when I was around, let's say 17, 18, I was so interested in many other things that I kind of stopped playing. I was going out, having fun, doing this, that, sports, I don't know. So I kind of left the piano, unfortunately. And then there came this time when I figured that, wait a second, you just can't leave the music. It's not this way that you can leave it. You have to kind of reconquer it in a way, or reinitiate it. And when I started playing the piano again, I figured kind of right away, it was really a key moment in my life when I figured
When was
that I
this?
would need to sing. You know, it was around 20. I was 20 already.
And it was autumn.
And it was, this I cannot say.
Spring.
It was not, maybe it was spring.
I
was
think
spring.
it was when he fell in love.
With 20 the first time. I guess I fell in love when I was 13, 14. You know, these nice ways of falling in love. But no, when I was around 20, I would say, I met this friend of mine who now lives in Moscow. And he was doing a lot of music and singing also. Now he's more into business and this, but he was very talented. And we were doing music together. And he, I don't know how this happened. I don't even know what made him say this thing. But, you know, he looked at me just when we were playing and doing some stuff. And he said like, man, stop playing the piano. You're not going to become a pianist anyway. Like this. And I was like, what is he saying? And he looked
said,
at me.
okay.
And he looked at me and said like, start singing. You've got a great voice. Start singing. I know, because I was singing, but at home for myself. But I didn't, you know, I wasn't really...
In the shower.
Yeah, in the shower, for example, or wherever, you know, enjoying simply the... But then when I came back home that day, I was like, what the heck is this guy on about? I should start singing. And then kind of it clicked, and I was like, wait a second, I like singing. I know that I like the piano, but I can't see myself being on stage performing on the piano or what. But then I figured, no, wait a second, it's singing. And then I figured that it's singing. And the first thing I did, like maybe the next day already, I looked for a conservatory where to go and to inscribe, you know, and get
He
lessons.
does know where he's
That's
going.
what I'm saying.
Well, I
Because
didn't know
he's a
back then.
Leo.
Oh, yes, that's right. August 20th, right?
August 20, yeah.
We checked you out.
So it looks like you're a Leo too, the way you smile.
No.
No.
The way your
do I?
hair is.
Lion King. I'm a
And so
Gemini.
what you did, you
Oh,
just
okay.
picked up the phone and called
Yeah.
your friend and said, why didn't you tell me earlier?
Actually, I should have done that. I was
Yeah.
like, what the heck? I'm spending this time playing. Yeah, you know. So yeah, that's what I did. I went to that conservatory like a week later when I had this audition or whatever it was, and they said like, I'm so sorry, we can't take you because we're like totally booked out and you're late. Semester has started already. And I was like, no, but I wanna do something. I wanna sing. And then they said like, I'm sorry, we don't have any more teachers, you know. And then this assistant or whoever she was, she kind of looked at my face and she must have seen the you know, this sad look or this kind of like, why? And then she
Puppy
said,
face.
yeah, exactly. And then she said, maybe you go and talk to what was his name, Detlef or
The
something
security.
like the security guy. He knows how to sing.
Oh my God.
He will,
You've done this, haven't you?
exactly, the security guy. Yeah, so
He's
when
a talented guy. Check him out.
listen to him, he knows how to sing. The security guy, and it was the security guy, but it was one of those bass players who also happened to be a vocal teacher.
Oh, wow.
And yeah, and he was saying like, she was saying like, go and talk to him. Maybe he takes you. He's also booked out, but maybe. So I went to him and said, knocked the door, and I said, look, it's this way and this way. He said like, sorry, I'm booked out. And I was saying like, yeah, but this assistant, she said that maybe you, because you're a nice guy, and this, and he went like, well, I don't know. And then he said, okay, come here, sing something, like sing a scale or something. You know, I hadn't had any kind of lessons back then, you know. So he played some scale and I sang it, and he goes like, oh, interesting voice. And then he played more and more, and I sang more and more.
Interesting case.
Interesting case. Maybe I'm gonna have mercy, you know, this way. But at the end, yeah, he said like, you know what, you can come. You just come, and then so I started
That
having.
was just meant to be, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Are you afraid of stage?
No, not at all. Not at
Ever?
all. No, I love the stage. Never. Because of my job also, my main job that I had during the time. I was working as a teacher. I was always like in front of people, many people.
Yeah, but
So-
singing is a bit different.
It is different. You're right. It's not so intimate as in singing on stage.
Yeah, because
know.
you pour out your soul.
Actually, I think it's very intimate.
No, I mean the talking
talking is
talking
not,
is not
yes.
as intimate as singing.
Yes,
on
because
stage.
I've been a teacher also, and I'm a singer. Yes, I would agree
Yeah,
with that.
you know. So, but no, I never had this stage fever kind of, or
Oh.
I liked it simply. I liked being on stage and connecting with people. It was simply this way. Yeah.
I think it has more to do with the character.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people say you always have stage fright and this and that. No, it has to do with the character of a person.
And another question. What would you do, or what do you do if you have such practice, if the audience does not greet you, if the audience is not as warm as you expected, or they're just sitting there and...
You know when that happens? It happens normally when you play at a place where people are not really there for your music. Or they're, for example, they're not into jazz or into... I was doing a lot of Latin jazz the last 7 years or something, 8 years. And when you're being invited to a place where people don't really care about the music, maybe they pay a lot of money, you know, it's let's say a bank and it's their whatever anniversary, and you go there and you have many people standing there, but they don't care about your music. And you know, you have this band, this let's say 6-7 pieces band, every single one's a brilliant musician, but people simply don't react because it's not their music. They don't care. They want to talk. They're there because of some, I don't know.
To eat or something.
To eat, for example, or to talk. You know, it's a management,
Does
whatever.
that offend you, or what do you do?
No, it
Or
doesn't,
you
you
just
know-
turn your brain off and sing, or what do you do?
It doesn't
How do you
offend me, but the first times I experienced this, I had this feeling of, why the heck am I singing here even? You know, I could be singing at home. And why am I even singing on this wonderful stage with all the lights and everything, but for who, actually? I would prefer to sing in front of, like, let's say 10 people who are listening to me than that. But then, you know what changed kind of the tape in my head, if I can say it this way? I started thinking, looking at it as if it was a rehearsal. I was saying, like, okay, then we're going to have a rehearsal. Guys, let's play this song, and let's do it this way and this way. We have never played it this way. Let's do it. And so we started playing the things in the way we wanted. We had these improvisations going on. We enjoyed it simply, you know, and then that was it. It was a rehearsal, a paid rehearsal. And then everyone's saying, hey, nice, we got a paid rehearsal. Yeah, that's good.
You have
Let's
a
do
really
it.
good psychology guard inside.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just the way
Anti-virus system.
yeah, antivirus system, yeah.
I
But
really-
honestly, I would prefer singing in front of people who really want to
Well,
listen
of
to that
course.
kind of
This
thing.
is
the
ideal.
energy,
Yeah. I really loved that Verdad Amarga.
Verdad Amarga, yeah.
Yeah, it was. I'm really fan of that.
Yeah.
Your performance.
Thank you so much.
I listened it several times.
Thank you so much. It's a beautiful
your
song,
channel.
isn't it? It's a
Yeah, it
very
is.
special song. Yeah.
And your voice is really goes well with it.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, Mike, what inspires you in life?
Oh, so many things. So many things. It's just, I wouldn't even know where to start. It's from, if we start with music, like music, nature inspires me a lot if I look like what's going on. Like people inspire me, the way they are, the way they think. I like observing a lot, you know, really observing a lot, seeing what happens. There's so many things that inspire that I couldn't really pick one special thing, I would say, but it definitely has to do with music, with arts, you know, with expression, because everyone expresses himself, herself in a very special way. So, yeah, I guess it's really hard to pick one special thing.
And what kind of people do uninspire you?
Well, you know, if I meet people who don't inspire me, then the first thing I do normally is like I ask, what is it that I don't like about myself when I meet them, you know? So I kind of try to see, why do I dislike what that person is doing? And normally I find something in myself that or doesn't like it, you know, rules it out in a way, you know, as in categorizes it, as in good or bad or what. But it's normal. I mean, we are human beings. There are people you simply love, you connect with, and there are others you don't. But when I feel this feeling of disliking, then I normally ask myself, what is it in myself that?
So what is
that
it
makes me
that makes you kind of frustrated in people?
frustrated? Actually, one thing that makes me I wouldn't say frustrated, but kind of sad is when I see someone suffering for too long. You know, and you can see that you know somehow the answer. You know the answer. You know what that person
What
should
could
do
help.
or could do, and you try to help, but it's simply not the time yet.
Mm-hmm.
And I had my let's say challenges with time in a way, as in I understood that you can't make the plant grow, you know, faster. It's like it's this way. It grows in a certain speed. You accept it. You enjoy it. And this is what I had to learn, you know, like understand that everything has It's time.
Like in the story with the cocoon and the butterfly, you
Yeah,
know it?
exactly. And this is somehow it's hard to simply, even with myself, unfortunately, I still have it going on that I try to do things perfectly, but it's not a virtue. People were saying, well, perfectionism, but no, it's not a virtue, because many times the focus is on what's bad and not on what's good. Because you start analyzing, this I could do better, and this note wasn't that good, but then you lose the whole vibe of the thing, because you concentrate too much on. And this is and was and is, well, definitely one of my challenges, to sometimes just let go. It's the way it is. It takes its time, and the most important thing is to feel it. That's it. Feel it and let it go.
Wisdom from Mike Mossessian on Radio Van.
So where is the British accent from?
From my uncle, because my uncle lives in London,
Okay.
and I was visiting him many times.
Okay.
So I was there. I don't know how many times, but I've been to London maybe for 30 times now or something. When I was a kid, I was visiting him, and I was working for him in a company at that time when I was doing the engineer school for information technology. So I was there working during the summer breaks, kind of, and I don't know, I spent a lot of time in London, and that's how I got the British accent, I would say.
Cool.
I have a question. Is the talent enough to be considered a good singer, or what else?
In my honest opinion, no, it's not. Because, you can have many talents, but it's like exactly the plant I was talking about. You can have the plant already, let's say 10 centimeters there, it's there, but if you don't water it, this thing's not going to grow. And then you're going to find someone who hasn't got that talent as you had in the beginning, and the flower is, let's say, 2 centimeters, but that guy keeps working all the time. And then you see that thing became a tree, and yours is still
That thing.
that little thing became a tree. So I don't think that talent is enough. I don't think so. I think that it's connected with practicing, and with experimenting, actually. Experimenting a lot. Like finding new colors of yourself. Finding, if you, let's say, like the color orange or blue or whatever it is, then you have to keep searching for a new color. And that makes you kind of grow and experience and make more mistakes, of course. And yeah.
Searching for colors.
Yeah.
Searching for colors. Do you have phobias, Mike?
Phobias? Gladly not. Gladly not. I don't have.
Do you care for social opinion?
Social opinion, of course. Of course I do.
Okay.
So?
So?
What is it you want to do?
I'm trying to make a connection here between the phobias and the social, issue. I can't figure it out.
There is.
What are you
believe
trying
me.
to say here?
I would say it if I wanted. Okay. So, can you define music? What is it
Can I define music?
to you, of course?
To me, music is like a heartbeat. It's the heartbeat of life, in a way. It's the heartbeat of life. Life expresses itself in many, many different forms, and so does music. Music is simply kind of the mirror of that heartbeat.
Oh,
This is what I would,
you're a poet.
say.
I can.
Do
We
you
all
write?
are poets.
Do you write?
No, I don't. I don't.
Okay. So I should tell you should start writing just like the guy told you to start.
The guy told. So I should stop singing now.
Yeah.
Do we have a security guard out there who teaches, how to write?
Okay, I'll be your security. I'll be your guardian angel.
Okay, so Mike,
Uh-huh.
Armenia, you often come and go.
Yes.
Why are you searching for new colors here?
Definitely, definitely. You put it in the right words. I'm searching for new colors. I'm searching for my roots very often, to see where do I connect and where can I still connect, with Armenia. What's kind of new for me? What change? Yeah, exactly. Like, where are the places I could still grow in a way? Because it is, I must be very honest, it's not that easy. If you have been raised in a European country like Austria and you come to Armenia, there are a lot of clashes. People were saying, there was this one saying in Armenian, I don't remember it anyway, but like what was it? It was Mi Mushakuit, Mi. Do you remember it? Make Mushakuit. Something like that. One nation, one culture.
Yeah.
But it's not true. I was always saying I don't think. At least I didn't experience it that way, because when I came, I had this cultural clash going on. I was thinking like, but why is it this way? I'm Armenian, they are Armenian. I don't feel really 100% Austrian there when I'm there. I feel that there's something big missing in a way. But when I'm here, I feel that there's something big missing here too. So I had this strange thing going on. Like, why is it this way? And where can I connect with my homeland? And how can I connect with Austria?
Here we come to one of the main questions of our show.
Okay.
Where is home?
Home is actually, as your jingle said, home is a feeling, I would say. I was listening to that jingle, when you played it. Home really is a feeling, because I had this home feeling also when I was in Latin America. I had this feeling with the people simply, that I was feeling well. I was feeling quite nice. So I don't think that it's connected to building, that is connected to the soil, as some people say, earth and this. And I don't.
Okay, where is your home?
My home is in my heart. That's for sure. That's for sure. But
where the feelings live.
I'm taking my home with me wherever I go. So I would put it in this way.
Very
Thank you.
At this moment, it's here. It's here.
Here in our studio?
In this very studio with you.
Great.
In this room.
Mike, please share about the upcoming project here in Yerevan and also maybe other projects coming.
Look, I'm going to have my concert's going to be on the 5th of October at the Kafescan Center for the Arts.
5th of October.
5th of October at 8 o'clock. Kafescan, exactly. And I'm gonna be performing with my great friend Armin Houston's, who is I'm sure you know him.
Yeah, of course.
Everyone knows Armin Houston's. I met him. I had my first concert in Yerevan with him actually in 2011. I met Vahak Hayrapetyan, Armin Houston's, Arman Jalanyan.
You also performed with them.
I performed with them. I got lucky and met them right away from the beginning on, because Levon Malkhasian, he introduced me to them, because back then, it was this, what was the name? It was Paplavok. It was at Paplavok.
It's still
there. So that's where I met all these people, and I started performing with them and recording with them. And this time I'm gonna perform with Armin Houston's quartet, and what can I say about it? It's not going to be Latin jazz, as it was the last times. I'm going back to my roots. I'm going back to, let's say, all the legends, all the singers, kind of, that were big, that had big names like Sarah Vaughan, Fitzgerald, Sinatra, these kind of people.
And how long will it last?
The concert? I guess it's going to last some 1.5 hours, definitely. All in all.
Great. So everyone, 5th of October, Kafescan, Mike Mossessian is performing.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you there, really.
Hopefully.
Thank you.
We will be there. What time does it start?
At 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock. And what day is it, by the way?
It's a Friday. Friday night.
Oh.
And later we can go out together.
We're gonna be on air, Mike.
Oh, that's right. It's Friday again.
Maybe we can do a live stream from there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why don't you do that?
Why not?
Exactly.
Okay, we'll think about it. It's a big advertisement campaign that we need to think about.
Mike, what do you do in your free time, spare time? Any activities, hobbies?
In my free time, I'm reading a lot. I like to read a lot. Actually, I like to go out. I like a lot, for example, all these Latin American dances. I like going to salsa, to tango, these
So you
things.
dance?
Yeah, I really enjoy.
Oh,
I really
wow.
enjoy it. Yeah.
Do you play the piano ever?
I have a piano at home, of course.
But do you want to play?
I played at
Some
home.
nostalgic.
At home, I do sometimes. Also when I try to figure out something, some arrangement or what, I use it. But yes, actually, I would love to be able to play it in a way that, that I could write my own songs, for example, or do this. But it's not at that level. It's just, the chords I know, I can play some stuff.
It's yet to come.
It's yet to come, exactly. Maybe that day's gonna come.
So you go out dancing?
Yeah, I go out dancing. I go out to meet up with friends. Nature I like a lot too.
Traveling.
I stopped doing sports like some 2 or 3 years ago. I was doing sports, these Chinese, Tai Chi, Qigong, these kind of things. I love them. But I needed a break, simply, and I stopped doing it. So sports is on break at the moment. So there's no sports going on. But yeah, these things, I like going to concerts, theater, movies, these things.
So what are you reading right now?
Right now, I'm different books at once, actually. There is this one book of Hermann Hesse. It's a German, famous author.
I right.
It's called Liebesgeschichten. It's love stories. You know, his his writings are very deep. You know,
Hermann Hesse and love stories.
yeah, it's called love
Oh, wow.
stories. Yeah,
What language do
Liebesgeschichten,
you
or it
read
is
in?
in German and in English. Then there is this other book. I have read it many times already. It's from Eckhart Tolle. It's A New Earth. It's called A New Earth. I'm always reading it again, or some chapters that I'm reading, and yeah, some other, I would say, specific literature about the teaching area and these things I'm reading also. So yeah, always different books, different
Happy reading.
happy reading.
Happy reading. Mike, you mentioned some local musicians, and who else have you collaborated with? Maybe,
In Armenia, you mean?
Not only, both in Armenia and abroad.
Abroad, well, in Armenia, it was
Famous.
the people that I mentioned. I think many of them. I could name like even Yervant Markanyan, the trumpet player, his wife and the band. He has Konalma. There's Alexander Agamian, who left the country like many years ago. He's now in LA. He's a drummer, very nice drummer. And two young talents you have here in Yerevan. One is Arman Manasakanian, I guess is his name, and David Baranekyan.
Baranekyan.
I met them last time. Very talented people. Very
He's
nice.
my bass player.
Yeah, really good ones. And in Austria, I have this very good friend of mine, is Hovanes Gibian. He's from Lebanon, Armenian from Lebanon. He's a very good pianist. I was playing with him many times, many concerts we had together. And the last years I performed a lot with actually Latin musicians. I had this very good friend and brother of mine, whose name is Nelson Williams. He's a Cuban. I met him like years ago, and then we started simply hanging out together, performing together, doing music together. And one day he just simply asked and said, like, why don't you want to do our stuff simply? Let's do this Latin thing. I'm sure you can do it, and it would be very interesting with your voice, he said. And I said, yeah, let's do it. And then I started learning all these, the way how to sing Latin music, how Cubans sing, their rhythm, how it is, how they feel it. It took quite a long time, actually. And it's still taking, of course, because it's a never-ending thing. But I went to Cuba, I spent time there, and now I'm still playing with them. It's this Latin quintet we have together. So Brazilian guys, they're very good pianists. Many different Latin musicians at the moment, actually.
So you're really flexible in your creative life. You like to do some experiments. And
Yes, I like experimenting a lot. I mean, musically, I wouldn't say that I would go into, I don't know, let's say rock or pop music. That wouldn't be my thing, I guess. Not.
But you're open to new suggestions.
Definitely. I'm open to singing even things in Armenian, maybe, you know? Because I was talking lately with Armen Husens about it. Why not sing a song in Armenian? I've never performed any song in Armenian. But I might do it this time. I'm still checking and thinking.
So, we need lyrics.
We need lyrics, exactly.
Which of you? Is there a duet coming?
Why
open.
not?
Yeah, why not? Of course, everything's
Yes,
possible.
I mean,
You know my number.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, this is the thing. At the moment, I'm quite focused on the Latin jazz field, but with this concert, I want to simply come back and don't not forget my roots and simply keep developing them there, especially with these good musicians that Yerevan has to offer. So
yes, it's interesting with artists, that the changes they go through. It's very interesting. What is your motto in life, if you have one?
I do have one. I don't know if it's a motto, but I do have some, let's say,
Philosophy.
some
A
philosophy
philosophy.
actually going on. And I remember people asking me when I was young, who's your hero? You know, this kind of thing. And I said, like, I'm sorry, but I don't have a hero. I never had... Superman, maybe, yeah. Superman, Spider-Man, these kind of, yeah. Definitely, they were my heroes when I was young.
There you go.
But you know, what I meant is that my kind of motto, to call it this way, was always I wanted to express more of myself. So the thing I'm telling myself is every day is I like to wake up and express more of myself. You know, as in, I don't know if it sounds too simple or what, but this is the thing that I really am looking forward to. Even when people were asking, where do you see yourself in 5 years? I was always saying, I have no idea where I'm in 5 years, but I know one thing, that I'm going to be more authentic in 5 years. That I'm going to...
That's the worst question for me.
Right?
Where do you see? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah.
What I'm going to do tomorrow.
Yeah.
Where do you see yourself?
What, in your opinion, what would be ways that a person could express themselves more?
Simply being more authentic. You know, I figured that the most difficult thing in life is, at least for me, is to really unfold the thing and show every facet of yours, every color, even the facets that you don't like about yourself. You know, where you say that I don't want people, and to love them. I don't want people to see it. You know, and you simply figure that it's not going to work this way. You know, you yourself are not going to be happy if it's this way, because it's like suppressing something, and that something kicks up all the time. You know, you make it silent for a week or two or a month or half a year, but then it comes.
But
it comes
that
back.
thing is gonna grow.
That thing is gonna that is gonna grow too.
And now we have to accept advertisement, even if we don't,
we
whether
have
we
to,
like it or not.
Let's have some other time.
Yeah, let's have it. Stay tuned. We have another 10 minutes to go with Mike Mossessian and his life story, philosophy, and colors.
Ina,
Yes, Rena.
I feel homesick.
You want to talk about it?
This Friday,
Every Friday on Radio Van.
homesick at home.
Homesick at home. We're enjoying the beautiful vibes of Mike's voice, and in the beginning of our show we listened to his song, and if you guys want to enjoy these wonderful moments like we did, then go ahead and visit Kafeshan Center the 5th of October. It's 7:30?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, okay. 8 o'clock, Kafeshan Center. Mike is going to perform for you guys.
And sorry, if you have a page or a website that people can visit and listen to your music,
I mean, the best thing would be to go to Facebook. I have my Facebook page there. Not only the private account, but the normal Facebook page. It's simply Mike Mossessian all together.
It's MOSS. It's not Mossessian.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Mossessian.
With 4 S, yeah. MOSS.
4 S and IAN.
Yeah.
We've got some hellos sent from Sevag Kavaljian to you, Mike.
Thank you so much, Sevan.
Hi from Linz, says Artin Bahudarian.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
Big respect to you, Mike. David Olizarenko. Yeah.
Fox, that's my drummer out there listening to us. Hello.
I'm sending my hellos and warm greetings to everyone.
And felicidades, Mike Mossessian. Saludos desde Costa Rica.
Muchos saludos, mi hermano.
So
Thanks.
how many languages do you speak?
35.
Not yet. No. I would say 4.
Not
4
yet.
fluently. 4 fluently.
And they are?
English, German, Armenian, and Spanish.
Fluently.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
If you count Armenian as fluent, then then it's 4. Yeah.
What is love?
That's a good question. Love is our essence, basically. It's not something outside. It's what we are, basically, what we're made of. For me, it's our essence, really. It's the thing I kind of feel. And when we connect, we feel more of what we call
Multiply.
love. Yeah, we feel more of what we call love, I would say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And everyone thought of their own thing at this moment. What would you say to Armenian people?
What would I say to Armenian people? I love you. This is what I would say. I love you, and
That was
I
a nice
really
transition from the previous question.
You
And I
knew
enjoy
the answer.
seeing-
That's why you did this.
Sorry, go
no
ahead.
problem, no problem. What was I saying? Yeah, and I simply enjoy seeing my if I can call them my people or my brothers and sisters simply flourishing. You know, this is what I can see every day in a way. That it's the changes are small, but they're happening, and it's so nice to see. It's so nice to see that, you know, the young people, they're bringing in a very special vibe, and I'm really enjoying it. This is what I can say. I'm enjoying to watch them, to see how this country kind of changes day by day, how they really manage to have a peaceful revolution, which you almost never see in any country, you know, a peaceful revolution, which is actually the only way to have a good change. Because every time when you have the forceful revolution, you just shoot yourself back into Stone Age, and then it takes, I don't know, some 50, 100 years until you...
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, this is what I would like to say to my Armenian fellows.
And what about a comment for our show?
For your show?
Mm-hmm.
I love your show, too. Yes, and...
Love
I
is in
really-
the air.
Love is in the air. And no, it's really a very good idea to have this thing in English going on. So people from the outside, let's say, can follow you too, can listen to your show. And what I really felt, it's the way as you said it before, because I was asking like, 1 hour, are we going to have like 1 hour of an interview? And you were saying like, yeah, sure, and it's going to pass very fast, you're going to see. And it's this way. I'm really glad to be here with you. I had a good time. I'm still having a good time.
It's
And
our
we're
pleasure.
gonna say we love you back, and we
Yes.
love our guests. We really enjoy this network that is growing and growing and growing every day. And I think we cannot imagine our Fridays without Homesick at Home.
Yes.
Homesick at Home.
It's just a healthy boost of energy every Friday. You know, that's how I feel.
Thank you.
And I'm looking at you.
Yeah.
I guess I'm gonna totally perform. I'm saying. Now I lost my words.
Yeah, please perform. Please perform for us.
Promote. I'm gonna promote your program definitely.
Thank
Definitely.
you.
Thank
Thank you so
you.
much.
People from the outside should listen to it too. Many of them. I
That
know.
would be
you.
great.
Yeah.
And if you feel like doing it, can we hear a small piece of your voice on air right now, a cappella?
Right now, a cappella.
Yeah, right here, right
Okay.
now, exclusively for Radio Van, Homesick at Home, Mike Mossessian.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Make some noise now. Okay, let me think. Then what can I do? How about the bluesy thing?
Ooh, I like that.
You want to join, Renata?
I want to
Rana, you
hear
wanna
you
say-
sing.
Yeah?
But I love the blues, so
You love the blues? I guess you know that song. It's called Work Song. That's the first thing that came to my mind right now. I just have to let me figure the key. Breaking rocks out here. Okay. I'm going to try it this way. Breaking rocks out here on the chain gang. Breaking rocks and serving my time. Breaking rocks out here on the chain gang. 'Cause they done convicted me of crime. Hold it steady right there while I hear it. Been working that out to get it. Been working. I'm working. But I still got so terribly far to go.
Woo! Yeah!
thank you
That
so
was
much.
great.
Thank you.
That was awesome. Thank you.
Mike, do you ever feel homesick for Armenia?
I do have this feeling that I want to come back. I have this thing going on. Last time, the first time I felt it after 1 year, because I was here in 2016, last time. So after 1 year, more or less, I had this feeling of I want to come back. It was a bit more than 1 year, but I had it, definitely. I wanted to be here, I wanted to simply hang out, hang around with people. Yeah, definitely have it. Definitely.
Well, we hope to see more of you.
And now I hope to see more of you too.
Okay, deal. Let's see what we can do.
Yeah.
Fridays, those Fridays. This was Homesick at Home. our show is over, unfortunately, but show must go on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you so much
Thank
for
you
being
so
with
much.
us
It was a
tonight.
pleasure.
It was a really nice chat.
Our pleasure.
And your voice was really relaxing.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
And I bet people who are going to be there are going to have so much fun enjoying.
I hope so. Yeah, I hope so.
Enjoying your concert. Mike Mossessian, singer, was our guest. This was Homesick at Home. And for those of you who unfortunately missed the show, you can go ahead and search for the video on our website and on our Facebook page later. Have a great Friday night. Have an amazing weekend. And we'll see you next Friday.
Enjoy the celebrations tonight.
Yeah, enjoy the celebration.
And blessings to everyone.
Kisses from Rina, Ina, and Mike. Bye-bye.
Bye.